here. Thank you to our community for your concern. That is a press statement released by the owners of Zanzibar, dated October 21st, 2025. I've seen some footage on social media and other forms of social media depicting the buildings, ablaze, and as you can see from the footage, the structures have been completely destroyed, have been burnt to the ground. We see members of the St. Kitts Nevis Fire Rescue Services on the scene attempting to contain the spread of the fire. But from all reports and from what I saw via the video, the fire was devastating. It is comforting to know that no one was damaged and no life was lost during this ordeal. But our thoughts and prayers are with the owners, management, staff, and the supporters of Zanzibar, and I believe the other bar is Kathy's Bar. I'm not familiar with Kathy's Bar, but Zanzibar and Kathy's Bar, our thoughts and prayers are with you during this significantly difficult time. Losing your establishment to fire is something that is really not easy, and the rebuilding process is going to take time, but it is not going to be an easy walk in the park. So that took place early this morning, and as we get more information coming out of the investigation into the exact cause of the fire, we will be sure to share this information with you. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devon Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. Now, on Monday, we had a very fruitful discussion, and I sincerely appreciated the feedback, suggestions, and the views of the callers. And we spoke about the speed monitoring and photo radar enforcement here in St. Kitts and Nevis. As you know, the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force has taken the decision to implement a speed monitoring and radar, photo radar system. And people have since voiced their concerns with the implementation process. The Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force has since issued a statement, and I'm going to share that statement with you for the benefit of those who may not have read or heard this statement. The Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force acknowledges the many questions and concerns expressed by members of the public regarding the recent speed monitoring exercises conducted in St. Kitts, along Old Road Bay, and in Frigate Bay. We understand that several issues have been raised, including the sudden rollout of photo radar technology, uncertainty about speed limits, and the need for clearer communication about how the system works. Our objective is not to penalize drivers, but to protect lives. Over the past year, the Federation has recorded multiple road fatalities and serious collisions, many directly linked to speeding. Additionally, we have documented an overall increase in the number of traffic accidents occurring annually. Some of these accidents represent families and futures cut short. Others had the potential to do so. That is why this initiative forms part of a broader road safety and speed reduction program aimed at preventing further tragedies. However, we recognize that our communication could have been clearer. We therefore acknowledge the concerns shared by the public, commit to increasing public education about speed zones, signage, and speed conversions, that's MPH and KMH. We'll host a community road safety forum before the month's end to invite additional public feedback and suggestions, and publish verified details about all relevant technological information and legal provisions. This is not about punishment, it is about prevention. In this spirit of good faith, the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force has taken the decision to void each of the 113 traffic penalties generated by photo radar up until October 20th, 2025. Be advised, however, that all traffic penalties recorded by photo radar from 12 a.m. on October 21st, 2025 onwards will stand. We always appreciate your feedback, and we invite you to continue sharing your views in a respectful and constructive manner as we work together to make our roads safer for everyone. That was a statement from the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force with regards to speed monitoring and photo radar enforcement, and they sought to clarify their communication initially when they announced that these measures have been implemented. But as we've said, the discussion has been, I think most people are in favor of the speed monitoring systems, as in the photo radar, because we understand and we know what the reality is. We have had a number of road fatalities that could have been prevented, that could have been avoided. In one of the recent police press conferences, they revealed that the leading cause of accidents in St. Kitts and Nevis is excessive speed. Excessive speed, to the point where the driver is unable to maneuver or control that vehicle. And so we have asked for the police and for the authorities to do something in response to these road fatalities. And this has been the response, to implement photo radar. On the flip side, however, we believe that something of this nature requires public consultation. And I say that because of the current speed limits, or the speed limits in St. Kitts and Nevis. And many have argued that those speed limits are not realistic. So nobody is against the speed radar system or photo radar system, but realistically 20 miles in certain zones is just not, it doesn't make any sense, you know. So I'm happy that the police have heard the concerns of the people and are willing to, or intend to have a discussion or have a forum to hear the ideas and concerns, and how can we get all of this into one language so that it is not confusing. Now, after this public consultation, and after, when the speed limits are revised and you still want to drive how you feel like you should drive, then you deal with the consequences thereafter. My only thing, though, with the community forum, I think that's how they termed it, the community forum that they are, Community Road Safety Forum. I hope that there will be one on Nevis as well. I don't know how many they're going to have on St. Kitts, but I truly hope that they will organize one on Nevis. Of course, I don't expect that to happen by the month's end. So perhaps by the month's end on St. Kitts they have one. And then on Nevis they can have a Community Road Safety Forum for persons on Nevis to share their ideas and concerns. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us.
At Dental Beginnings, where it all begins with your smile, we provide quality dental care, catering to the needs of the whole family. Where gentleness is our specialty and attention to detail is paramount. We offer cleanings, fillings, crown and bridge, root canals, extractions, digital x-rays, and sealants. Dental Beginnings, located at Victoria Road, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Call us at 869-668-1955 or 869-465-1951. Email us at dentalbeginnings@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page. Dental Beginnings. It all begins with a smile.
For life's finest moments, celebrate them with Skol Premium Lager. Pure malt, pure class, pure perfection. Skol, class and perfection in a bottle.
The competition is heating up on ZIZ Petition Superstar 2025. One contestant has been eliminated from Group 1, and now the remaining stars are ready to shine even brighter. This Thursday night, the stage belongs to Vinette Richardson, Iquanje Bradley, Nikita Sage, and Cheslin Ward. 4 voices, 1 dream, and only one can move closer to becoming the next ZIZ Petition Superstar. Feel the energy, the emotion, and the excitement live this Thursday at 8 in the evening on ZIZ TV Channel 5, ZIZ social media platforms, and online at www.zizonline.com. ZIZ Petition Superstar 2025. The stage is set. The stars are ready. Are you?
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devon Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 465-1977 or 1903. That's 465-1977 or 1903. We're taking your calls. Lend your voice to the conversation at hand. I want to share quickly a notice from the Ministry of Agriculture with regards to attention to farmers and livestock owners. The Ministry of Agriculture reminds all farmers and livestock owners that allowing your animals to roam at large is against the law. And this is a major annoyance because I've seen a lot of it in St. Kitts and Nevis, where I would say some people have absolutely no regard. The statement from the Ministry of Agriculture says you are legally required to keep your animals securely fenced or tethered on approved land. to prevent them from straying onto public roads or private property. Let me stick a pin right there. While a lot of the accidents have been, and this ties into this thing about speed, while a lot of the accidents have been caused by excessive speed, a lot of those stray animals have caused people to get into some really terrible accidents. You're driving, going about your business, and out of nowhere, sheep, goats, the cows, right in front of you. And so from the moment you see these animals and the time for you to press your brake is a split second. So I just hope that this is not just a statement from the Ministry of Agriculture that they're going to enforce it, but the farmers and the livestock owners, they need to do better. Now it says, why this matters, roaming animals, cattle, sheep, goats, pigs and horses pose serious safety risks on roads. They have caused accidents, injuries, and damage to crops, fruit trees, water systems, and damage to property. We had a caller. What you must do, regularly inspect and repair fences and tethering materials. Ensure fences are strong, tall enough to prevent jumping, and low enough to prevent crawling under. Keep gates securely closed. Immediately capture your animals, and there are penalties for non-compliance. Roaming animals, you have a caller? Roaming animals may be impounded by the Veterinary Services Division in collaboration with the police and defense force, and in some cases animals may be lawfully destroyed by authorized persons. The caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Devon, good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, first I all want to thank God for life, Thank God for the Federation. Think it needed. Now, Devon, now talking about on the road with the speed and the government introducing these things on the road with speed limit. I don't think nothing wrong, but let people know what's going on. Let people aware what's going on. Because, Devon, let me tell you something too. When the people are aware what's going on and they know what's going on, some people ignorant, they're going to still do the same thing. But just doing it, because I hear the Prime Minister done say in your Parliament already, that they're going to introduce some speed thing on the road, mobile. And because you want to cut down the load of accidents that are going on in the country. Mm-hmm. And nothing wrong with that, something that needs to be done. For all these ignorance going on the road, think it is a small place they're on. No fine, I think it's as I concern. And everybody wants all this load of speed, like we're on a race. You understand? Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't listen to the news. They don't know what's going on in the country, and that's bad for a lot of them. Up to this man, I see a young guy up and down on a bike, on a four-wheeler bike like me. And I tell him plain, if he got a license for it, because this is the first time I see me on it. I tell him, man, you see what's going on out there on the road. I must be so ignorant and what's going on. See what's going on out there on the road. When the police catch I got to pay money. When I pay money, I still got to make a excuse. You understand? Up Japan, I parked some them last week because I got a bad leg. I did get an accident, crossed my road and I bust. And I get my left leg mashed up. And I parked across Princess Street, went in the drugstore to buy something. And by the time I come back out, I met a lady there, but a traffic warden here. But she said she don't write up the ticket, so she got to give me the ticket. I explained to her. Right? And then when I went to pay the ticket yesterday, you understand? I going to by the land, up by the rules. Then I got a bad leg and I can't walk too much. And I made to understand how you could go take out an ID. Ever hear anything like that, Devon?
Take out an ID for what?
Like take out an ID, and if they come to you, you show them the ID that you injured or something, and you cannot walk so far.
I'm not sure about that. Only thing I know about is getting a doctor's letter or something like that, but I'm not sure about the ID part.
Well, somebody was telling me about it yesterday. Devon is too much ignorant in this country, and we don't care for government in, right? I don't care what government in the past the rules to set the rules of the country and let the country go forward and let the road to forward and this ignorant accident happening and the road people dying and mashing up people vehicle with somebody. I say somebody said has forced to pass to me. And you I can't kill the ass. So you must understand what kind of speed I can have up. And I have to in this spot.
All right.
You understand? Okay then, Devon.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We have another caller. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. Sorry about that. I was a bit away from the radio. They're talking about the accidents and stuff. They need to be careful. Right there by the village school this morning, 2 children going across. He nearly knocked down the people, them children, you know. The crossing guard never reached it. That much don't reach it all a minute to it. So I don't know where she be. She's supposed to go and get herself a little better. You got to be hustling. She should have been in the state when you have to reach the place, the train just come out for you. Next day, people have to tell her they ain't got no job. So they need to really be careful. And this animal, they are right up by me, stray animal coming on in my yard. I ain't got none. People got an animal pen up, there's certain time they let them out. I don't know where they're laying them out all the way across below the water. They coming around here, all the animal, if they want to feed the animal. You go with them, just don't let them go like wild animals and they come in disturbing people. Eating on your 2 little things you have in your yard to make a living. Okay.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. It's 11:25. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Make me some music.
Listen, you hear that song? It's Nostalgia on ZIZ Radio from 1 to 3 in the afternoon on Thursdays. On Nostalgia, everybody has a good voice, so relax and go in the zone with us. Get your songbook, look in the index, find the song that is playing, and sing along. Join ZIZ Radio every Thursday from 1 to 3 for Nostalgia. It's music to soothe you right where it hurts. ZIZ Radio, touching you with variety and style.
Get ready to ignite your Tuesday nights with a show that's as educational as it is entertaining. Welcome to Pleasure Pulse, your weekly guide to the world of sex education. Join Roma every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. exclusively on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. It's the perfect way to spice up your midweek routine and get answers to all your burning questions. Whether you're looking for relationship advice or curious about the art of intimacy, Roma's got you covered. Pleasure Pulse. Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Only on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Don't miss out. Your sex education journey starts this Tuesday with Roma as your guide.
The competition is heating up on ZIZ Petition Superstar 2025. One contestant has been eliminated from Group 1. And now, the remaining stars are ready to shine even brighter. This Thursday night, the stage belongs to Vinette Richardson, Ikonje Bradley, Nikita Sage, and Cheslin Ward. 4 voices, 1 dream, and only one can move closer to becoming the next ZIZ Petition Superstar. Feel the energy, the emotion, and the excitement. Live this Thursday at 8 in the evening on ZIZ TV Channel 5, ZIZ social media platforms, and online at www.zizonline.com. ZIZ Petition Superstar 2025. The stage is set. The stars are ready. Are you?
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge. with host Devin Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into matters at hand.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Great conversation we're having thus far. It's 11:28. We're taking your calls at 465-1977 or 1903. Now, with the conversation of the speed on the road, the speed radar and the enforcement, and the statement from the Ministry of Agriculture as it relates to the animals that are roaming, that has long been an issue. And I really hope that the Ministry of Agriculture is going to, we have a caller, and really enforce this. Let me stick up, we will take this call. Calling on the air, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Devon. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. What about you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a lot of noise. Okay, I think we should step it up by now. For the animals, I think each animal owner should be tagged. The animals should be tagged. Like I have animals, my color is green. Somebody else is purple. Because, you have a lot of accidents and it's not good when people have to, get the vehicles all damaged. I think there was actually someone who got damaged there with I don't know if it was a horse or a donkey or something, and that person is hospitalized. It's unfortunate. And what I realized a lot of horses are now coming on board now. A lot of horses are now, it's getting popular. And horse bigger.
Right.
So we need to tag up the animals, man.
Right.
Because every time, it ain't me, or it ain't mine, and it's disgusting. Okay,
Yes.
Wonderful program. Have a great day.
All right, you too, and thank you so much for your contribution to the program. A great suggestion, and it's something that the Ministry of Agriculture can definitely take into consideration. But as I have said, the roaming animals, it's a serious issue, and that too is a cause for some of the accidents. But there's something that I have observed, which I believe is an epidemic in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I can only speak to where I'm at. The use of seatbelts. And that too is another reason why a lot of the accidents are fatal. Where a lot of people don't drive with seatbelts. They hook in the seatbelt to the back to turn off the alarm. There's some modern cars that if you're not wearing your seatbelt, it beeps and beeps and beeps and beeps in an effort to encourage you or to remind you that you're not wearing your seatbelt, right? So what I've seen people do, they hook the seatbelt in and they place it behind of them. I mean, it's like you're asking for it or you're begging for it. I operated the mindset that anything could happen. I don't leave home with the intention of getting into an accident, but anything can happen. Buckle up, put on your seatbelt. A lot of the accidents that we've had, if you really do analysis, do a study, you realize that a lot of the people who have lost their lives or who have been severely injured were not buckled up. They were not wearing their seatbelts. And so they're flown straight from the vehicle to the windshield. They end up on the road. So the car is here and their body is somewhere 20 feet, 30, 50 feet away. So if it is one thing I would support the police in doing, is the enforcement of seatbelt. It should be ticketed and fined for not wearing a seatbelt. I don't see it as the police trying to harass anybody. Just wear your seatbelt. If you don't like how the seatbelt feel, the seatbelts now come with a soft cushion thing that you could purchase. So, it doesn't feel uncomfortable across your neck and over your chest. We have a caller. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning.
Caller calling to big up Jazzy Dean that I said in advance Saturday, please. Happy birthday to her. Big up yourself. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for that. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Levon Cornelius, and thank you so much for joining me on The Edge for today. It's 11:33. The phone lines are open. Call us at 465-1977 or 1903. Those of you just tuning in, we're talking about the speeding on the roads. I just remember the song from a Calypsonian this year, Please No Speeding on the Road. That song was amazing. Please don't speed it on the road. Yeah, I feel like this song resonated with people and will remain forever timely and relevant for years and decades and even centuries when we are all gone, But yeah, wear your seatbelts. You wanted to make a contribution.
If I may, I've been listening to this conversation since yesterday. Things and times change. And that statement is true in a positive way, and it can also be true in a negative way. Now, with the animals, once ago, if somebody owns sheep, goats, stuff like that, they got to tie them out every morning, tie them out, not just send them out somewhere. You tie them. So when in the afternoon now, when it's time for you to go and collect them, you know exactly where they will be because you tie them.
Yeah.
Now these days, people just let the animals roam. Some of them don't even go for them. They count on the animals to come back home themselves. Right? Another situation, the speeding. Some people ain't even speeding for a reason. Like, they're not even late to go somewhere. It's not an emergency.
Yeah.
I'm not giving examples or excuses as to why a person should speed. But I'm just saying, some people are not even speeding for a reason. They go from here to there and it's... No, I am an adrenaline junkie. For those individuals who know me, things like speed. I want to go on bungee jump. I want to jump out a plane with a parachute. Those kind of things. Those kind of things, they excite me.
Yeah.
Right? I am an individual who has been to the St. James Raceway over Nevis, racing both cars, bikes. So I know what speed is. And the vehicle that I drive every day, that is not meant to be driven fast. I take my time in that there because it is not built for that.
For the speed, yeah.
And that's a certain thing to like. Some people speed and they're not even aware that there are certain tires that are not even meant to go a certain speed.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That too needs to be a part of the conversation.
There's so many variables why persons should not be speeding. And I know somebody out there just hear me say that and they're like, wait, is Cupid just say? Yes, there are certain tires
they're not built
that
for
you're
speed.
not supposed to go past a certain mile per hour or kilometers per hour. It's
And
not built for that.
there's a way to read how fast the tire can go.
All that on the tires, but a lot of people don't check for them things.
Yeah.
So it's individuals out there, they're just getting a license and they jump in a vehicle and they want to show off to a friend here, a friend there. I love motorbikes. And for the life of me, I just can't understand why I just see some of these people darting through traffic with no helmet. Like, yo, I got in an accident on the track over Nevis in 2020. There was some dirt on the end of the track. And how Nevis racetrack is, it's not that long. So after the concrete and everything, there's a sand pit, and you don't want to go into the sand pit. And I would have had to actually try to tap my brakes, as after trying to compress the engine and everything, you could only compress so much. So I took the brakes, the tire slid out from underneath me, and the helmet had a groove on the side. If that wasn't there, I might have looked like the Joker with piece of me, not Joker, it's Two-Face and Batman with piece of me, like
face chip out. Yeah.
I don't get it. You mentioned a while ago that some people like that just be begging for it. It's like you hear a friend die from this, or you hear stories of other people dying from this, and you gonna still chance it. As good as a bike rider as you are, you don't have to be the individual to make the mistake. Somebody else could make the mistake.
Somebody else, yeah.
So you were elaborating on the seat belt for the cyclist, man. Like, what is it that you have to be seen by individuals? Like, you want everybody to see that you're riding a scooter or a dirt bike or something like that? Because, like, the real serious street bike riders that you see go around the island on a Sunday, the man don't leave home without the helmet,
Helmets save lives.
They don't get it. You know how many people could have been alive today if they was wearing a helmet? Like, what are you? And truck drivers, some are going to vex, but a vehicle in itself, no matter how small it is, could be used as a weapon. I could use a car to try and run over somebody. That is a weapon.
Right.
You could imagine a big truck with a truck. Like, where does be going?
Our roads are too small.
I don't get the rush. Like, you so big. Like, years ago, I had a debate on the whole braking distance. Because they say you're supposed to be a certain way behind a vehicle. And I feel like that varies based on the vehicle, the weight, and all of that. So,
certain vehicles brake faster than others because of the weight and the size.
Gravity and everything gonna come into play because you're in motion. So your weight and everything. Like, why do truck drivers have to be going that fast? Like, some people are upset because of, the radar things just being dropped. But at the end of the day, some of you ain't even taking stake of your own life. So how you going to vex with the government to try and say, let me try to save your life if you don't want to save it?
But remember, we were the ones who called for it, We were the ones who said, and I saw the chat on social media and even here on the airwaves, people call it to the government and the police need to do something with all these accidents, right? They have done something. Yes, it was not done perfectly, that I understand. But these speed radars have been implemented as a result of our actions. A lot of these accidents could be prevented.
You know the funny thing, and tell me if you see it too. If the government had come out and say, hey, we are thinking of implementing these speed radars. Come, let's have a conversation, let's have town hall meetings. You believe they would have had the reaction that they are having now as opposed to just rolling it out and catching everybody off guard?
I think if they had come and say, let's have a conversation, a lot of people would have rejected the speed radars.
Okay.
I think they would have rejected the speed radars. I think the wording could have been different. Let's have a conversation about the speed limits. But to come and say, hey, we want to bring some speed radars, a lot of people, especially those who are the culprits, so they say, by the way, we want speed radars. But for me, I am 100% in support of the speed radars, because personally, I don't speed. I take my time. And I go where I have to go. There have been times where I have had to pull off of the road because there's a big truck coming behind of me, and me ain't confident if the truck can stop in time. So I just pull off the road. You know, a lot of the things that we do on the road, we cause it. We know better. We can do better. But for some reason, we don't. excessive speed for absolutely no reason. You made the point that it's not a case of trying to justify why one should speed, but you have absolutely no reason to speed
You ain't
or
late,
to drive
you
that
ain't-
fast.
You ain't late. You ain't got an emergency, but you pedal to the metal for what?
The other thing too is the maintenance of vehicles. Some people get their vehicles, they jump into them, and they just drive them. You put in gas and you think that's it, right? Yes, vehicle maintenance can be costly, but when you own a vehicle, you have to now make up your mind that this now forms part of your budgeting or your whatever the case may be, and so you're gonna have to follow up with the tires.
The brake
Driving your tires until they start to show the teeth. that ain't cute. That is you asking for it. Checking out the brakes and making sure that these things are functioning properly. All of these things.
Even rotating your tires. I mean, you might have a suspension part that's going bad and you can't get it here. You have to order it and it may take a while. But because of that, your tires may be burning badly. So the inside burning down faster.
Then
you
you
rotate the tires. Like a lot of these things, people just do not know. As you said, they come, they put in a key, they start it, and they go. A lot of people ain't even know, like, if you try to start it, one of the things them you go and check, apart from seeing if your tank having gas. Check. A lot of people ain't even know to check a battery terminal to see if it's slack. Like, there are so many things. Like, y'all think the speed radar is the biggest issue? The slip lane was just implemented, and persons are using the slip lane to accelerate past the traffic that's out on the main road and then to duck in front of them. That is not the reason for the slip lane.
No.
You are supposed to cruise, wait to find a spot to be let in and go
You integrate in, yeah.
Not stay in there to pass all the traffic and then try chucking out in front. You're like...
But the police did put out a statement on that, that's not the purpose of the slip lane.
I don't want to seem like I am putting any blame on the police, but I feel like we could do a lot more to get out the message. I feel like the message ain't reaching a lot of people. I mean, we have policing for you, we have traffic talk, we have all those kind of things, but
They gotta ramp it up.
what about going into villages on a weekly basis on a megaphone, a system, and talking to people about what it is they are supposed... A lot of people still don't know how to use the round... Let's take this caller. Hello, good day.
A caller? Yes, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
We could. I want to throw out a few things, a few questions.
Go ahead.
Okay. The other day, when the Prime Minister had his round table, you realize the reporters, all the question was on Africa?
Was it on Africa?
Yeah, you have the Prime Minister right there. We have so much issues and topic in the Federation, and the reporters, all they asked the Prime Minister was about Africa. I want to know what was going on with them. How come none of them asked the Prime Minister about the prison issue? The prison, remember the Prime Minister and his party criticized the prison building, and it's going on under this government. The prison continuing, the prison way up in the air. The prison project is happening, They didn't ask the Prime Minister about that. They didn't ask the... Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Nobody asked the Prime Minister about the land them down there by Ross. How the negotiation going with all the different owners? When are we going to see some form of work being done down there on the hospital that he claimed that's supposed to be built there? Nobody asked the Prime Minister why the reason why the high school project started, because music festival were going on and thousands of people was in place, and the deputy prime minister run up there with some back and start digging up and said the high school start and it shut down. No board is no project board is at none of the gates of the Barclay High School showing who is the project manager, who is the contractor, and when the project is going to start and when it's going to finish. That is what's supposed to be on a project. The public supposed to know who is the project manager, who win the bid, which contractor or, out overseas contractors win the bid or what. We ain't know nothing. Nobody saying nothing to you. The other thing is, down in the mall, this is going on 4,000 season now. They shut down the toilets them down there, and we're using some hot tub outside. And up to now, nothing is being done to rectify the toilets in the mall. People still using the hot tubs them outside. These are things you're supposed to be asking the Prime Minister. Another thing they were supposed to be asking the Prime Minister when they are going to do some projects and create some jobs and make something happening in the country, both for government and both for private sector. And next question they're supposed to ask, how is the relationship between the private sector and the government? Because you could see nothing going on there. The private sector doing its own little thing, the government doing its own little nothing. Right? The private sector and the government supposed to be working together to create jobs, to create avenues, to create programs to make life easier for the people in the country. That is not happening. But everybody, all the reporters, they are asking every time they get up, how Africa this, and when Africa going to do this, and when we are going to do this with all Africa, and so much topic in the Federation to ask the Prime Minister about, and then ask the Prime Minister nothing on the Federation. So it's like they're telling the world that nothing, all prosperity is happening in the Federation. Nobody is disgruntled. The job creation and the unemployment line is very short, which the unemployment line in the Federation is very long. Nobody asked the Prime Minister what's the situation with the beach vendors them over there within your hotel going there, and lawyers are harassing the beach vendors them to move. Nobody asked, and those are topics you're supposed to ask the Prime Minister on.
I think at his last, if I make
open
caller,
where the public could come. Once ago they used to get up at the Barclay High School. Every year they used to have that here when Prime Minister Douglas was in. They're done with that.
Right, caller. Hello.
Meeting so the public could come and address these issues to them. The ministers don't have no town hall meeting in the constituency. They don't have no time for people.
Yeah, can you hear me, caller? Hello.
And you can have a town hall meeting every 3
I don't think you could hear me properly. Yeah, can you hear me, caller?
No time at all. So when election comes, all the time to come around, come ask people to vote for you. But when you're in, you don't have no time. Every 3 months, a minister supposed to have a town hall meeting in his constituency.
Hello.
They're supposed
Caller.
They're supposed to have
caller.
Where people.
Yeah, I'm trying to engage you, but I don't know if you're hearing me or if you're not listening.
Like you got on your phone and you're reading from a script.
I'm trying to engage with you, caller. Right, so you're talking about the recent with the landowners over by with the development of the hotel. What's the name of the hotel? It's Ritz-Carlton supposed to go over there? I think it's a Ritz-Carlton or something like that. So the latest update that I heard from the Prime Minister, the caller still on the line? I think, yeah. Are you hearing me, caller?
You're croaky.
Okay, maybe you might hear me better if you listen off ear. I'm not sure. Maybe if you listen off ear, you might hear me better.
And this is a straight call.
Right, so I'm saying you might hear me better if you listen off ear, as in if you hung up and you listen. But I was making the point that the latest update I heard from the Prime Minister with that issue about the development over there with the hotel was that they are in negotiations with the bar owners. And so, from my understanding, it is not just to tell the bar owners to leave the area and not provide a new home for them. What they're saying is that the land in the area is privately owned and has been or is in the process of being acquired for the development of that hotel. And they are in conversations, as in the government and the bar owners are in conversations to find a new home for the bar owners. So it's not a case of telling the bar owners to stop what you're doing and you cannot continue your business. It's just that you won't be able to continue your business in this specific area because a hotel is coming to the area. And so they're looking and they're actually assisting them, the last I heard from the Prime Minister, of finding a new home for the bar owners. That is the last update that I heard. And I think he made mention of this at his last roundtable discussion. We have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, caller. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yes, everything Mr. Khan says is so true. Everything's going on. We need to get people complaining. They say when they were out, what's going to break ground? I heard one of them saying, oh, you're going to get your hospital, you can just touch a button and you can get swish. And there's nothing going on, swish now, wish. What happened again? These animals were roaming. You know what my sister told me? In St. Thomas. Last time you see them roaming, you just knock them down. Either you put up to them your thing, just get up. Meet and pay for your damage. But there's nobody doing it here. All up here, you see horse. I up here and in horse ground. When you was campground, you never seen a horse. You got some people below the lower side of buckles and they just let the leg of the horse well whenever. They gotta be crazy. And because you're not shooting at them, the little pallet gun where they used to go. You know? People used to got a little, not too long, a little kind of thing. And so just shoot bird gun to call them. They need to hold the animal if they don't go touring with the tourists around there with the place, with the animal. Try them a certain place. You see, we had these things at the pound, and you see, I don't know who dropped the ball, they don't hear nothing at all. You think I'm supposed to come my place, plant up an animal to come from Timbuktu or come eating down my stuff? I have not even afraid to bother the neighbors. Not even me, I make noise in there, they say me talk. Me not even me. When I ready, I just had something Devon. And when I ready, before some time, the program done, me drop sleep, I say, me got to already. I ain't even, I don't fell asleep. So these things need to look into.
All right, caller.
Drive us again.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. We're out of time. We have a call on the line. If we do, we can take one more call. But it's 11:55, so let me say thank you to those of you who have. All right, we have a caller. Let's take this final call. You're on the air, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Devon.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
I'm just calling you to make a quick comment, Your program, in my opinion, the phone line needs to be fixed. You can't keep a good program with this, how this line is operating. Because you can't conversate with people. Sometimes you're saying hello, and cars still carrying on. My suggestion, I think you just need a straight line and forget with these load of internet. Okay? That's my opinion.
Caller, thank you so much for sharing your concerns. We have been having some difficulties with the phone lines, but it is something that we are actively paying attention to and working to rectify. But thank you so much for sharing that. We have a caller. This is our final call.
Hello?
Caller, your final call. Quickly, go ahead.
I'd like to contribute to the show.
Yes, go ahead, caller. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I cannot hear you too well.
All right. You've been listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Continue to enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Have a good one.